Hey, this is Darren LaCroix sitting here with my friend and colleague, Ed Tate. Ed, thanks for joining me.
No worries.
Ed told me this great story, and it's a challenge for every new speaker or every speaker starting to create product. And it just can be a daunting task. But Ed, tell them the story you told me.
My first product, it was a very painful process. A good friend of mine owned studios, and we literally were in the studio for days and days and days. And it was a painful process. I'm sitting behind a microphone, I'm sitting in a chair reading, and after about a week or so of trying to produce this product, the day before it was due, we decided, you know what, it wasn't that good. So we decided that we would scrap the project for now and try it again later. Now we tried it in a couple weeks and we were able to get it done, but I got to tell you, it was a painful process.
And you said that he was a little frustrated with you because it would have been $10,000 to use the studio time.
He said we had used exactly $10,000 of studio time. And when I said that, look, let's not release this, it's not good enough. He says, are you kidding me? Are you crazy? But we both came to our senses and we both agreed that that first cut, it just wasn't good enough. And thankfully that we did stop and we did take some time away from the project and we came back and eventually we got it done, and eventually I sold, tens of thousands of dollars worth of that product. But it was a painful process.
But two things I picked up from the stories. Number one, because you went through the process, you grew and it became more doable and better the second time, correct?
The second time around, it was much easier. And the third time around, it was even easier than that. And today, there's no challenge in terms of creating products whatsoever. But that first time, whew. Thank you for bringing up those memories.
But you also pointed out the fact that you learned some things that were invaluable in the second time. Like you learned that standing up, you had so much better energy.
Absolutely. We learned I learned a lot of things. Number one, stand up, and you have a lot of energy. The other thing I learned is, in this particular case, it was easier for me sometimes if I have an audience. So sometimes when I'm creating a new product, I'll actually invite some neighbors over. Like one time I actually had neighbors come over. I bribed them with sodas and popcorn, and they were just my studio audience, so I can have people to talk to. So it was a lot easier. But again, you learn these things along the way. But the one thing I like about your program, That's Me on CD, you've bottled up that process. You've taken all those painful learning moments and you've bottled them into a simple to use process.
So you wish you had something like this when you started.
You have no idea. You have absolutely no idea. Yes.
So save tens of thousands of dollars, and it didn't have to be as frustrating a process as you had.
Also, saves a friendship too.
This program can save your friendship. Anyway. Ed, thanks for opening up, because I think so many people just think it's easy for you and I, we're the world champion and blah, 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 and we have to go through the same process.
Folks, he's bottled up the process. Take the easy route.